Hey coaches, I'm laughing because I started this video and then it totally screwed up. So I'm starting it again. So here we go. We are talking about tips on using the word of the year as a self-coaching tool. I love this tool. So I don't know about for you, but for me, 3 things happened for me at the beginning of the year. Number 1, I start the year full of energy. I have tons of ideas. A lot of creativity is flowing. But as a highly creative person, what happens is I can quickly get overwhelmed with those ideas. Number 2 is I want to prioritize my personal growth, my self-growth, my self-development, because I know that who I become is what's going to drive my happiness. It's what's going to keep me feeling fulfilled and on purpose. It's what drives the revenue growth and business growth inside of my business. So really who I become is critical to everything in my life and my business. And the third thing is I want a direction so that my time is spent intentionally and isn't wasted. And the main tool that I use for this, surprisingly, it's not spreadsheets. It isn't a bunch of flip charts and planning and marketing calendars. I get to that, but what starts it all is my word of the year. This is my primary self-coaching tool that I use. So my name is Kendall SummerHawk. I am the creative founder of the #1 certified business and money coach training school for women. What I do is I empower and equip ambitious women who want to be successful without apology. I empower and equip them with the coach training and the done-for-you coaching content to be able to make significant income in their coaching business and to enjoy significant freedom and flexibility in their life as a result. Now, my vision is to empower you to create a lucrative coaching business that you are 100% in love with. And my big why of why I do this is because it has been proven. Well, first of all, I'm all about increasing women's earning potential, And the reason why is because it's been proven that when women have greater earning power, many of the world's problems begin to be solved. And I think that is pretty darn exciting. All right, so a really quick mention before we go into the tips on the Word of the Year tool is that I want to be sure that you know we are enrolling right now for our next Money Marketing and Soul Certified Coach Training Program. Now, this is my signature certified coach training. It has been proven to be the most effective, the most sought after coach training for women who want to make significant income as a coach and specifically do that coaching other women entrepreneurs. That is the hot niche to have. It's been hot the last few years and it's just getting hotter and hotter, to put it bluntly. So this is for you, the Money Marketing and Soul Certified Coach Training Program. This is for you if you want to hit the ground running with new paying clients without putting tons of time into creating your own coaching programs and your own coaching packages without having to create all that content from scratch, because I train you and give you permission. You get licensed with no extra licensing fees or anything, but you get licensed and trained to use mine and brand it as your own, okay? And so you can learn more about this. You can go to a free training I have called coachtrainingmasterclass.com, and you can learn about that. It's a 45-minute training where I give you great coach training and also share at the end of that online training, I share what that opportunity is to come into the Money Marketing and Soul Certified Coach Training Program. Okay, let's talk about tips on using my Word of the Year self-coaching tool. So here's what your word of the year is. Your word of the year is one word that calls you out and pulls you forward. And what I found is that when you step back and really allow your word of the year to come to you, it's like that word chooses you. It's like all of a sudden a word's going to pop into your mind, rather than you choosing it from a mental or headspace. You don't need to do that. You don't need to say, well, what's going to be the word that's going to be the most beneficial for me? You just say, what would my word of the year be? If I could have any word of the year this year, what would it be? What word might pull me forward? What word might really challenge me to step up in a really big way? So those are some of the questions you can ask to inspire that word to come to you. But don't try and pick the right word. There is no right word, okay? This is not a mechanical process. This is a soulful process. Now, you may not know when that word comes to you, you may not know what that word has in store for you. Or it may not be obvious in that first moment of how you're going to apply it to your life and your business yet. But you just have to trust that when that word comes to you, it's from your soul, and it's meant especially for you this year. Now, the secret here is to let your word of the year choose you. And what I love about the word of the year is that it isn't a should or a have to. When you allow it to come to you, it's like your soul is showing you the way on your path to really a very big up-leveling. And that's what makes it perfect for us women entrepreneurs, because we want our soul to really be the CEO of our business. I mean, my soul is my CEO of my business, absolutely. And if I go against that, I always regret it. It always costs me a lot of money and I'm not happy with the results. So I like it when my soul is in charge. She knows what to do. So here are some tips on creating your word of the year and how to use it to make money in your business. Tip number one word. It's one word. Now, if you're tempted to have more because you're that kind of person and you want to be a little rebellious, go a little maverick on me, say, no, I really need to have 2 or 3 or whatever, you're cheating yourself. You're not going to really get any benefit, or you're going to get very, very tiny benefit. So if you, sometimes I have more than one word come to me, or I have a word come to me. Like this last year, my word of the year has been the word nurture. And when it came to me, I fought it. I said, I don't want that word. I don't like that word. I don't want it. And it's interesting because I'm an incredibly caretaking person. Actually, I'm not caretaking, I'm a very caring. I care deeply, and I want people to feel special and cared for. But that's different than being nurturing. And so that word nurture came to me, and I resisted. I said, no, I don't want that word. So I kept looking for other words, and I came up mentally with another word or two, which I don't even remember what they were. And I kept coming back to the word nurture because I trust this process, that the right word comes to you for the right reason, even though it's not always obvious. So if you have more than one word here, that's fine. Write them down and then just ask yourself, and you can do this over a period of 2 or 3 days. You can ask yourself, which of these words is going to challenge me the most? Okay, I want your word of the year not to feel easy and, smooth sailing, because there's no growth in that. The word of the year can cause some friction a little bit, and that's great, because in that friction is where growth happens. Growth needs a little bit of disruption in order to happen. So you're not going to get any benefit from the word if you have more than one. And also something you can do, I don't do this myself, but I'll say it's okay, is you can change your word of the year mid-year. Personally, I think it's great to live with the word all year. It takes me all year to really get my word. And in fact, my experience is that I don't even get the full benefits of the word until the following year when I'm on a new word, but then that last year's word is really starting to flower and blossom. So anyway, you can choose it mid-year if that's what you want to do. So I'd rather have you do that than try and have more than one word, because that doesn't work. All right, tip number 2, no word is best, no word is right, no word is dumb or wrong, okay? As I said, I kept trying to discount my word of the year, that word nurture, but it kept coming up to me as the one, and I'm really glad that I stuck with it. And the reason is it gave me incredible clarity, specifically about the marketing in my business and how I do my marketing. And it's given me a lot of patience, which isn't a virtue that I necessarily have. And it's changed my relationships as well, really deepened the quality of my relationships. So don't judge your word. All right, tip number 3, it's not going to sound perfect at first. It may, but it may not, and that's okay. Don't judge it. Don't decide it's not right. Saying, oh, it's not right, that's our ego talking. That's resisting change. Remember, your soul is your CEO of your business. She knows best. All right, and the thing is too, is you're not going to know in advance how that word is going to unfold for you over the year. So it's okay to be in this place of mystery and to let it unfold and trust that it's going to bring you some brilliant surprises. I mean, really brilliant surprises. All right, so here are the 3 ways you're going to use your word of the year. You're going to use it, number 1, to grow. Absolutely. So my word of the year always scares me a little bit. I think, oh my God, I'm going to have to grow. I'm going to be uncomfortable. But I know that it's right when I start asking this. So I'll start asking, what might this look like for me this year? Like when I think about my business, what might the word nurture, that was the word I had last year. Going into this year, my word is focus, by the way. It was a choice of focus or devotion. Oh God, they're both great words and they both have some overlapping qualities to them. But I decided that between the two, focus was the one that came to me first. And usually it's first thought, best thought. So I'm going with focus. I know when it's right when I start saying, what might this look like for me this year? What kind of changes does it immediately get sparked that I'm going to make? Changes in how I run my day, changes in my marketing, changes in how I prioritize things. Absolutely. And the ideas start to really come immediately. And I love that. And it's because it's showing me how I'm going to do things very differently in my business and also in my life. The second way you're going to use it is you're going to let go. You've got to let go. Of course, you know that phrase, let go to grow. So you need to expect to be challenged. Your word of the year is supposed to cause some disruption. That's the whole point. And it's going to show you where you need to grow. So let it do that. When I start feeling impatient or irritated, I can get really irritated with my word of the year, then I know it's because I need to let go of an old mindset or I'm clinging to an old construct or an old way of doing something. And that because stepping into something new isn't always comfortable at first. Sometimes it is and sometimes it's not. So when that happens, the self-coaching that I do is I ask this question. When I apply my word of the year to this situation, whatever the situation is, what do I do? What do I need to do that's new or different? So I get myself very future focused. I really want to have that mental discipline of being future focused. So if I'm in that place of resistance and irritation or frustration or impatience, I'll just say, okay, take a breath. Let me get over myself here. When I apply my word of the year, like this last year, when I apply my word of the year nurture to this specific situation, whatever it was, what do I need to do that's new or different? And that gives me the answer. And there's a relaxation in there that's really beautiful. Okay, third way you're going to use it is to make money. How cool, right? I love applying my word of the year to exactly how I'm marketing, to what my programs look like, to how I handle money in my business. I always do that. So for example, this past year with my word of the year being nurture, some of the things that I did is I gave away a lot more paid quality content for free. I made it a point to do that. We started including even more private coaching in our certified coach training program and also in my money mentoring program. I have a 6-month money mentoring program that people come into. I also applied it to how I handle money. So I applied the word nurture to making sure, for example, it's a small thing, but it was really impactful, making sure that I'm getting the most interest rate for the money that I have stuck away in my savings account. Turns out I could double my interest rate simply by switching accounts within the same bank. Who knew, right? But because I used the word nurture and applied it to money, I made a call to where I had my money saved and said, are there any, is this the best you can do? Is actually what I said. And they said, oh no, you can do this. And I made that switch. So that was really great. So I doubled my interest rate. So I also, a big thing was I really focused on profit over just gross revenue. So in years past, I focused a lot on gross revenue and we were always profitable. I've always been profitable. But by focusing on profit, by nurturing profit, as a result, I'm just laughing because I'm just remembered my word of the year a couple of years ago. I think it was the word profit. And I made a bunch of changes in my business. But this year at being nurture, what I found was that I've doubled my profit. My profitability percentage has doubled this year, even though my gross revenue is less than in years past. Totally cool, right? I've doubled my profit. I've made as much money as I did having to, as much money on less revenue, which means I didn't have to work as hard as I did in years past. So that's really cool. So that's some practical ideas on how you can apply your word of the year. Whatever your word is, it can be applied to your marketing, your client service and client retention, and to your bank account or how you manage your money. All right, last bit here is you want to make your word of the year part of your daily life. Some quick tips. Put it everywhere. So I tell my family what my word of the year is. I tell my team what my word of the year is. You can put it on a Post-it note. You can have a wonderful stone. I have some stones over on my desk here. I'm at a different table right now. You can have those word stones made. They're like $5 or $10 to have made, so you can put on that. You can make a vision board with your word of the year as the focal point of that vision board. I love that. I don't think you can see it. My vision board's over here off to the side. But you can put it on your phone screensaver. You can journal with it. And if you journal, you can ask this wonderful question. You can say, where does my word of the year want to take me right now? That's a great journaling question. Or what are some ideas on how my word of the year can be applied to my marketing? So really get specific with it, and you're going to start to see how it really helps you be very creative in a very intentional, focused way that gets you growing. All right, so to wrap up here, your word of the year will continue to unfold for you throughout the year in deeper and deeper ways. It's going to keep expanding.